Well, good morning. Let's look together today at Psalm 116. I love the Lord, for he heard my voice. He heard my cry for mercy. Because he turned his ear to me, I will call on him as long as I live. Now, what I want you to listen for in this psalm is the psalmist's, the trouble he's in, and see if you can ever relate to it. The cords of death entangled me. The anguish of the grave came over me. I was overcome by distress and sorrow. Well, just stay with that for a second. The cords of death entangled me. The anguish of the grave came over me. This person is facing thoughts of the end of their life. I was overcome by distress and sorrow. They're depressed. Then I called on the name of the Lord. Lord, save me. Haven't we all prayed that prayer? Then he reflects on the character of God. The Lord is gracious and righteous. Our God is full of compassion. Just the kind of qualities we want in God when we're in trouble. The Lord protects the unwary. When I was brought low, he saved me. Again, brought low, that picture of being very down. Return to your rest, my soul, for the Lord has been good to you. He's calling himself, he's preaching to himself. Hey, soul, return to your place of rest because the Lord has been good to you. For you, Lord, have delivered me from death, my eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling. So he's experienced deliverance from this sad state he was in, that I may walk before the Lord in the land of the living. So he's coming out of the darkness back into the living. And then he reflects on the history of his journey. I trusted in the Lord when I said, I am greatly afflicted. In my alarm, I said, everyone is a liar. So he's back into that place. He's reflecting on where he was. I'm greatly afflicted. Everyone is a liar. So he's feeling kind of persecuted. What shall I return to the Lord for all his goodness to me? You see this back and forth. I will lift up the cup of salvation and call on the name of the Lord. I will fulfill my vows to the Lord in the presence of all his people. So he's saying, I was down, the Lord delivered me. And so now I want to praise the Lord and thank him in the company of God's people. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his faithful servants. Truly, I am your servant, Lord. I serve you just as my mother did. You have freed me from my chains. Once again, that sense of freedom from a place of enslavement. I will sacrifice a thank offering to you and call on the name of the Lord. I will fulfill my vows to the Lord in the presence of all his people. We heard that before. In the courts of the house of the Lord, in your midst, Jerusalem, praise the Lord. So this is really just a very simple reflection on a person who's been in trouble and who's felt the desperation and desolation of being in a place of trouble and felt and seen the Lord's deliverance and how then his life just comes back with all this energy to say, I want to praise the Lord. So let's just think about that today. And, we all have those days, don't we? We have down days and up days. We have days where we feel like we can take on the world, and other days we feel like the world's taken us on. And so on those days when we call to the Lord and then we come out of them, our first reaction can be the psalmists, where we say, what shall I return to the Lord for all his goodness to me? I will lift up the cup of salvation and call on the name of the Lord. I will fulfill my vows to the Lord in the presence of all his people. So really that reflects on when we come together, that we have something to offer to God, whether it's our hands lifted in praise, whether it's our offering, whether it's our encouragement to other people. So that is the pattern that we are to follow. Seeing God's goodness in the midst of our times of trouble and returning to him praise and thanks in the company of his people. Have a great day, and I hope you get a chance to reflect on Psalm 116 in a way that encourages you today.